Greetings and salutations, this is Imperator Vespasian and his trusty sidekick.
Hello.
Today we're bringing you our Carian Hoplites from the city-state of Caria, which is in southern Anatolia, or southern Ionia, I should say, actually, which is the southern part of Ionia.
Any more southern words you want to
Yeah, I'm just trying to think how to put it in modern terms. It's the bottom bit of Turkey, but not the land bit down to Syria. It's sort of the bottom sticky outy bit near all the Greek islands. Just think Guns and Navarone, you're more or less on the same place. Anyway,
what?
Guns. They sail past the
I've heard Guns and Navarone.
Yeah, there's a never mind. Read the book. So we're going. Yeah, you read a book. Yeah. Actually, you're reading an Economicon at the moment, aren't you?
While listening to an audiobook.
Yeah, that's always good.
So someone reads it and I just follow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Innovation right there.
So you're not really reading it, are you?
No.
You're just looking at the pictures.
There's only like a couple of pictures.
Yes, well, at least they're pictures. I mean, the odd picture of Cthulhu knocking around. Anyway, this is the Carian Hoplites. Carians themselves tended to be very much like, the Carian Hoplites are very much like normal Greek hoplites. Caria is I just told you where it is. It was a Greek, it was founded by Greeks, Dorian Greeks. Which is the same race as the Athenians. And these guys came over and they occupied... Is that right, Dorian? No, who cares. They came over back in prehistory days, ancient Greek history days, and they sailed over and conquered the land from the locals. The locals were not Greek. They conquered this area of land called Caria. They called it Caria, and then they, from then on, identified themselves as Carians, and they refused to admit that they were Greek. Even though they spoke Greek, they also spoke a different a version of Carian, which was a sort of a local dialect. So they more or less spoke Greek. They carried Greek equipment, they fought as Greeks, everything about them was Greek, they sailed Greek ships, they were, in essence, a Greek city-state, but they refused to admit that they were Greeks. And they even didn't identify with the rest of the Ionians. All the Ionians were Greek. They were all Greek colonists that had come over from the ancient Greek days, and they wouldn't admit that they were the same group of people as the rest of the Greeks living in Ionia. So they really were a separatist movement. They were a separatist group who wanted to go their own way, stand on their own. Yeah?
Indeed.
Yeah. They had a pretty good history. They allied themselves with the Persians when the Persians invaded. They did... A handful of Carian Hoplites did fight on the Greek side during the Ionian Revolt. They then joined the Persians and they fought on the side of the Persians against the Ionians. And this was not forgotten by certain figures that would lead to the Greco-Persian War, such as the king that started it all in the first place. But really you can class them as being Persian, even though they're Greek. Throughout the Persian Wars, they fought on the side of the Persians. They were extremely loyal to the Persian forces. They were Persian satrap, the Persian kingdom, and they fought entirely for Persia. They regarded themselves as Persian first, and then Carian, or probably Carian first, then Persian, and they didn't regard themselves as Greek at all, and they despised the Greeks. The city-state that they came into most conflict with right up to the Greco-Persian War was, of course, the Athenians. The Carians were in a great position. They had some great ports, they built large numbers of ships, and they were a big trading area. They traded a lot. They also ran pirate fleets as well, so they acted as pirates, and they would go out and steal goods from Phoenicians and various other people who were passing, Egyptians, and they would steal the goods from their ships or just capture their ships, which annoyed other people and did lead to part of the Ionian Revolt. But they really, really despised the Athenians because, of course, the Athenians were the same. The Athenians too were a massive seafaring group of people that they liked to go out on boats and stuff, and so the two came into conflict a lot when it came to trade because they used each other's waters and things, and both were quite powerful in a naval sense. They also fielded triremes, the big massive triremes built for war, they were the only Persians to really do that. The rest of the Persian ships were junk. In fact, most of the Persian ships were single-oared. I mean, they only had one deck of oars, so they were very slow.
Well, yeah, you need one deck of slaves, and then you need a deck of soldiers.
Well, not all. I very much doubt these guys ever used slaves.
I'm talking about Persians in general.
The Persians, yes, the Persians did use slaves. It was a form of punishment. You were sentenced to slavery as a rower or an oarsman, and you died on the boat. Unless an Athenian jumped on board and said, "Hey guys, you're free."
Not willingly, because you're tied to the rope.
Yes, you're tied,
so
and
if it's sinking, go.
Yeah, which is why it was very easy for the Athenians to capture Persian ships, because they would just board them, kill the guards, and then they free the oarsmen and give them a choice: fight for us and take the bounty, or leave. Just get off.
Leave.
Most of them fought for the Athenians because they wanted to get their own back.
I just left.
Yeah, but you just imagine the smell, because they used to go to the toilet in their seat.
Well, not much you can do.
No,
you're tied to the seat.
It was pretty horrible. Yeah, but that's a whole other story.
I mean, God knows what happens if the Persians discovered superglue before everyone else.
Yeah, they would have just glued you to the seat,
Yeah.
wouldn't they? Yeah. That would have been quite useful. Anyway, that's the Carians. Uniform-wise, they're in leather armour, lamina armour, the standard armour used by the Greeks, and they carried the Greek hoplon shield and aspus, and they had the dory just like normal, just perfectly normal Greeks. Now, when you come in to paint your Carians, the biggest thing for the Carians, if you notice on the shield designs, is they really like the letter K because they're Carians, you see, even though it's spelled with a C. What?
I was about to say that's just a C, not a K.
Yes, I know, because we're foreign. The C is actually K. Like, Julius Caesar, it's actually Kaiser. Hence the Germans use the term Kaiser for their king.
No. Sorry.
The German Kaiser?
It's not going to help with my brain.
No, Caesar means Kaiser. You pronounce the K with the C with a K. So Boadicea is Boudicca.
But that was Caesar's name.
No, it wasn't Caesar's name. His name was Kaiser.
No, his name was Julius Caesar.
Julius Kaiser.
Oh, no. Don't work. Sorry.
No, but it's true.
No.
No, because the Greeks, we pronounce it wrong.
My English brain can't cope.
No, we pronounce it wrong. The C is a K in Greek. No, who cares? It's a K, right?
Nine.
They have a K on their shield. Deal with it, right?
No,
You can't.
I can't.
No, deal with it.
Not
No,
working.
seriously. And they also seem to go. I did a lot of research into Carian shields.
I can carry on this one.
Go on.
They worship Aquaman, as you can see. They worship Cthulhu. There's nothing wrong with worshiping Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Who else? Oh, and they worship Scorpion King. Hey, you know what? They've got some few good gods there.
Well, they seem to go for aquatic things, probably because they spent a lot of time at sea. I don't know why.
They are on an island.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Well, part of them live on islands, but some of them live on the mainland. But they did seem to go for the aquatic sort of looking stuff: crabs, squid. Oh, what's that called? Octopus, that's it. It's an octopus. Or Thulu himself.
It is.
It could actually be Thulu, yeah.
HP hasn't written it yet.
No, he hasn't. And various other creatures like that. And I'm not really sure. I think there's a lobster at the back. But
To me, it's Scorpion King.
no, it's a lobster.
No, it's Scorpion King.
So they're the shield designs that I could find. And there isn't a huge amount of data on it. There's not many Carian shield designs depicted on pottery and stuff. A lot of the stuff that does come from that region does not actually show pictures of Carian troops. The ones that definitely do show Carian troops tend to be in very, very light colours and tend to be animal-based, fish and crabs and that sort of stuff. I suppose it's their thing. Yeah?
Fair enough.
Yeah. They standard carried the Dori and the Zaphos, which is the stabbing sword, the stabbing Greek blade, as opposed to the axe. The game-wise, they're classed as experienced, so they re-roll their first attack. I think you've already seen that in the game. That can be quite useful. And their captain just enables them to re-roll their morale once. It's not a very good captain.
This useless captain.
Yes. Some captains give them. Some captains are good, some aren't. So that's basically that. Any questions?
So, instead of doing what normal people do, and they get really cheap colours and then paint their stuff in really cheap colours, they decide to get the absence of colours and then all colours.
No, they're pirates.
Oh, so they're trying to go for pirate kind of look.
No, they're trying to go for camouflage. Their carrion ships are painted black, so you couldn't see them. Their sails were painted...
Same as the Persians?
Yes. Because you can't see them at night, so they painted their armour, their body armour and their shields black, so they were hard to see.
Thinking about that, if the Persians, ships were all black, how do you know where your friendly Persian ship is? You might accidentally ram into him.
That happened.
Oh, okay, fair enough. When you see in 300, when you just hear ships and then you hear lightning comes and then all the ships appear and they're all like getting destroyed on the shore.
Yeah, I don't think the average Persian ship would have been painted black. It might have been multicoloured. The Athenian ships are multicoloured. But some of the, especially during the Empire, the very short-lived Athenian Empire, their big, massive ships were probably painted black. For the same reason, because they would sneak. Think of the commerce raider. That's really what you're doing. You want it as hard to see as possible. Some ships would actually have the wrong coloured sail. They would have red sails. Merchant ships have red sails. Warships have white sails. The red sail is to make you look, well, you can obviously see it's a merchant, and it's the easiest way of doing your sails. Your sails don't go off, and it doesn't reflect the sun off the sail, therefore blinding the crew. Whereas a warship, they have white sails, and the reason they have white sails is so the sun will blind people looking at the ship. So it's hard to see the ship with its full sails out, which is why you actually have full sails during combat, because it dazzles people. Whereas the Carians and possibly the Greeks would also use red sails to disguise themselves in daylight as merchants.
Okay, fair enough.
But that's actually from a Roman book, which was written about the time of Julius Caesar, and he actually noted that the Greeks did this.
Best thing the Romans ever did for us.
Yeah, best thing the Romans did for us. So it's an interesting thing, the different colours, and I would assume they would carry two sets of sails, the white to use at night, or possibly even black to use at night, or red to use in the daytime. But I'm not really sure how easy it is changing sails on Greek ships. I know on smaller ships you can do that quite easily to swap a sail out, but on really big sails for these huge ships I don't think it's that easy. I think you have to go into dry dock and have a dozen guys working on it overnight.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Any questions?
All questions I've got.
That's all the questions you've got. Right, well, that's it then. That's the Carians. I hope you enjoyed the video and it gave you some slight information on stuff.
I suppose it did.
Yeah. So, black armour because it's night time. Over to you for outro.
Hang on, wait a minute. I forgot.
What
was that cloth for again?
It's to protect your legs.
That's...
Yeah. The front rank of any phalanx will have cloth at the front because it stops arrows going in. This isn't just cloth. It's really, really thick folded cloth. Really thick. And arrows will stick in it and they won't go into your feet. Also, you can, when you're in close combat, someone can't go under your shield and slice your feet because the cloth's there protecting you. I know you've got armoured greaves, but your feet aren't armoured. Your sandals aren't armoured.
So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and comment down below what you think of the Carian Hoplites.
Well done. You remembered who they were.
That's great. I've been paying a lot of attention to this.
Yes, you have.
I have, yeah. And normally I would say these Persians cost the black and white at the same time. So.
Well, Persians are bright coloured.
No, they weren't.
Oh yeah, I know you're on about now. Yeah, yeah.
See, the only thing I've seen of Persians
Yeah.
is 300.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
And they all wear black clothing.
that's because it's a film. Yeah. Right. So thank you very much for watching.
Same for me.
Everything from him. Goodbye.